Hola chicos, I wanted to kind of give another overview of tonight's webinar on the 22nd. So I will give what we had discussed. We talked a little bit about tener que and ear plus a, both of them being matched with an infinitive. We reviewed very quickly the differences between saber and conocer. And then someone asked a question about reflexive verbs, which is actually in the next unit coming up, which is Unit 3. And then we'll talk about the next due date for Unit 3. So the first thing that we will go ahead and begin is with tener que. So tener que, as well as ear plus a, means that there's going to be some type of infinitive coming after this. And an infinitive is a verb that ends in AR, ER, or IR. Okay, so first thing you're going to need is your form of tener. So tengo, and I'm going to say que, tienes, que, tiene, que, tenemos, que, tenéis, que, and tienen, que. Now, everything that comes after that verb, or the que, is going to be an infinitive to represent that you have to do something, or something must be completed. So, for this item, if I would say, tengo que estudiar, I have to study. And estudiar is in our infinitive. Tienes que beber más agua. You must drink more water. Okay, great. Tiene que trabajar mucho. You have to work a lot. Tenemos que dormir más para energía. We have to sleep more for energy. Okay. Tenéis que correr para hacer ejercicio. Okay, you all must run in order to do exercise. And tienen que tener un buen día. Okay, you all must, or you all have to have a good day. So here's our form of our verb tener, followed by que, as well as an infinitive. Okay, infinitivo. So that same idea goes for the ear plus a. So ear plus a is going to also be followed by an infinitive. And this is going to represent that you are going to do something. This allows you to speak in the near future. So you need to start off first by, and I want to get rid of this for a second, I apologize. So you first want to start off by your form of the verb ir, so voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. Okay, and you can see that I'm adding the word after it to say that we are going to do certain items. Okay, so now let's say mañana voy a ir a la escuela. Tomorrow I'm going to go to school. Vas a comprar almuerzo. You are going to buy lunch. Va a hacer cosas buenas. Okay. You formal are going to do good things. Vamos a, and we're still talking about the near future, so I could say anoche vamos a ir al partido. Tonight we are going to go to the game. Vais a usar la computadora para la tarea. You are going to use the computer for homework. And then the last one, and I apologize, this should not be vas, it should be van. Hopefully somebody had already caught that. Van a comer pizza para la cena. Okay, you are going to eat pizza for dinner. So this allows you to talk in the near future. So the next item that we'll go ahead and talk about is the difference between saber y conocer. Okay, so saber, we know that both of these items mean to know, but they mean different to know items. So saber, first off, is used, and I always say to know something, to know how to do something. Conocer is used to know a person, or to meet a person. Okay. Now, each of these have some different types of conjugations. So the first one is yo sé, sabes, sabe, sabemos, sabéis, saben. And then conocer, because both of these are irregular in the yo form, yo conozco, conoces, conoce, conocéis, lo siento, conocemos, conocéis, y conocen. Now, each of these are going to have the personal a coming after it. So if I say conozco a la profesora del arte, I know the art teacher. Conoces al presidente. Do you know or have you met the president? Okay, so this always has to have an a coming after it for the personal a. These items don't. Sé tocar el piano. Okay, I know how to play the piano. Sabes hablar español. Okay, you know how to speak Spanish. So take a look at those differences between saber y conocer. And the last item that was asked about tonight was the reflexive verbs. Now we're going to be coming into a chapter that's talking about getting ready and getting yourself prepared for the day. So a reflexive verb is a verb that reflects back onto yourself. So I always use the example that when you wake up as a teenager, you get yourself ready. You do your own hair, you brush your own teeth, and you put your own deodorant on. Those are all types of reflexive verbs. However, my 6-year-old daughter, when we wake up, I brush her hair. When she was younger, I helped to brush her teeth, and so on. So those items are not reflexive. So a reflexive verb is something that you do or that a person does to themselves. So I'm going to use the example for to brush your teeth. So cepillarse los dientes. Okay, so the se on the end signifies that it is a reflexive verb, and there's a song that goes along with this that is played throughout the lessons. But the first thing you do is you take off the se, okay, which means we'll have cepillar, and we talk about you put it in your pocket, then you conjugate the verb. Okay, so we're going to conjugate cepillar in the present tense. Cepilló, cepilláis, or cepillas, cepilla, cepillamos, cepilláis, and then cepillan. Okay, so now what we do is we are going to bring that say back out, and we are going to then turn it around, and we're going to place it in front of the verb depending on who it's talking about. So if we're talking about myself, saying that I brush my teeth, you're going to use me cepillo. If for you, te cepillas. Usted le cepilla, or I'm sorry, se. Then the next one, nos cepillamos, os cepilláis, and the last one is also se. So when these people are referring to, if I want to say they all brush their own teeth, se cepillan los dientes. Okay, let's use this te here, or let's use this one here. If I want to say you, as in you as teenagers brush your own teeth, you would say se cepilla los dientes. But if I'm talking about my daughter, who I still help to brush her teeth, I would just say yo cepillo a los dientes de mi hija. I brush the teeth of my daughter. It is not reflexive any longer. These front items here, the me, te, se, nos, os, and se, these are our reflexive pronouns, and you have to have a reflexive pronoun when a verb is reflexive. So anytime you're talking about getting yourself ready to do anything for school or going to bed. So this is actually, there are a lot of other verbs coming up in Unit 2, which I'm going to jump over to the course actually. So in Unit 2, in Unit 3, it talks about mi rutina, and you are going to be using these reflexive verbs. This mi rutina, or Unit 3, is going to be due on March, and I want to jump back to on Friday, March 10th. So just keep in mind that that's the next due date coming up. And I'm also, for those of you guys that are moving ahead, I'm going to go ahead and publish now the next unit, which is Unit 4, talking about mi casa. So as always, if I can help out at all, please let me know. I'm going to post the link right here to this so that I hope that you watch and have a good rest of the week. Be sure that you're checking those grades. Keep in mind an INC means that it's an incomplete and I haven't received it from you. If there is a 0 or any type of numerical grade, then I have graded it. You need to make sure that you go back and look at the comments that I've made. I look forward to the work for Unit 2 the rest of this evening and to Unit 3 coming up. Adios, chicos.